What's going on? I'm DJ HazMatt,
Yeah, and I'm Matty Willz.
and welcome to another edition of Matt and Matt Sports Week 2 edition. Yeah, we back at it. The Browns back at it, doing what they do all the time. Give it up in the end. A loss.
Wow. This how you
A
coming in?
loss. A loss.
This how
Yes,
you
this is how I'm coming in. Listen, I'm 52. I've been watching these types of things happen. I lived
I've heard
through
this speech.
all of it.
I've heard this speech more than anybody watching this right now, man. Go ahead. Go ahead,
It
dog.
ain't
My
no
bad.
speech. It's not a speech, man. I'm not here to give a speech. I'm here to break it down, man. Let's get to it, man. The Browns, we had the game won until we didn't. And it's just a shame that it happens to this team. This is why I'm wearing black. If you can see, I have Brownie the elf up there on my hat, on a black hat. He's existing back there in the wall. That's the friendly version of Brownie the elf. They break out that Brownie the elf in the middle of the field trying to look all mean. There's nothing you can make mean about an elf. And then the mascot. If you're gonna change the artwork of the elf and to a more aggressive style elf, then you got to change the mascot too. You got to get the old that mascot looks like Dopey from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, man. No offense to old Brownie the elf, but here we are, something else to clown the Browns about. And what do? Yet again, lose a home opener. It's been 28 years now, people. You might as well bet that on first day the Browns play at home, bet against them because you're gonna win some money that day. Because this is tried and true.
Well, it wasn't the ideal finish by any means. And we like to remind everybody that we will be going live with Matt and Matt Sports a day after each Browns game. I know we missed yesterday, but for the remainder of the season, we'll have a schedule go out at some point so you can always catch us live. But I'll just kind of go back to a conversation that we're having online from a post that I made after the game. Basically just trying to tell people that we should not have expected this team to go 17-0. We should not have expected this team to come out and dominate, and for a myriad of reasons that I listed in that post. One of which is that our team is super young. Another is that we're playing with a backup quarterback. Neither of those things take away from the fact, though, that yes, the Browns did blow probably the worst live Cleveland Browns game that I can recall watching. Blew a 13-point lead with 1:55 left in the game. Everybody's calling for coaches' heads to be fired and things of that nature. I mean, in a short week, you really can't expect any of that to happen. And it's still early in the season, man. But my opinion on that terrible loss, yes, it was a terrible loss. Yes, I admit it was a terrible loss, but it's not the end of the season. Only the second game of the season. We didn't really lose any ground with any of our division rivals. So I think we'll be fine. Ultimately, I think we'll be fine.
I mean, it's fine to think we'll be fine, but when you take a AFC loss, if there's going to be a tight race in the AFC, one of the teams you can't lose to is your division one, to your conference. So we're taking losses in the conference, and
We took a loss in the conference. A loss.
Okay, we took a loss in the conference. We almost took one last week, but that would have been an NFC loss, which is what the Bengals did. The Bengals are 0-2 right now. Mm-hmm. I never was worried about the Bengals.
And they've lost the division game.
My whole point with the Bengals, yes, they made the Super Bowl, but I'm saying head to head with the squad they have and the squad we've had success against that team. They have not. Joe Burrow is, in fact, 0-for against the Browns. So all I was saying to say that is in a situation where the teams are even and we both have an opportunity to win the division or go to the playoffs. If it's head to head, the Browns is probably going to come out on top because they will probably win that game. You understand what I'm saying? Because history, until it changes, dictates that they beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, with the Pittsburgh Steelers being we're going to see what we look like against a Mitchell Trubisky-led Pittsburgh. If Mitchell Trubisky carves this defense up the way Joe Flacco did, Joe Flacco was back in his former Super Bowl MVP mode on us. And I mean, yes, they're calling for the head of coaches, one in particular, the defensive coordinator, Joe Woods,
Joe Woods.
because for the second week in a row, these blown coverage is leading to big scoring plays by the other team, getting them right back in the game or just helping them win the game. Like, and even still, us blowing that coverage, the onside kick, really, you can't, you got 3 chances to save the game. But you know what I'm saying?
It was
You
a
had
perfect
3
storm,
chances,
man. It was a
and they
perfect
couldn't,
storm
and
for the Browns.
we failed in all accounts. There's no
Special
way
teams had a horrible week. Special teams had a horrible week. The Cade York extra point miss proved to be huge. I mean, you can almost go down the list of things that happened,
like,
and
man, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
That's what I'm saying. You could almost go through the list and be like, yo, this ain't gonna end well. Nope. It is what it is. That's why we gotta take it on the chin. It's a week 2 loss. It is what it is. For all intents and purposes, we don't know. I mean, we all have a pretty good idea, but we don't know that the Jets will be terrible this year. They might be a decent team.
Listen, now that Joe Flacco's their quarterback, yeah, because they have some great young rookie talent. One of which who carved our guy up.
Oh yeah, he looked like he's gonna be a player.
Your boy Garrett Wilson. How come we didn't draft him? We had him right here in our backyard, watching him every Saturday. All of this OHIO. That's why they don't do the hang on Sloopy at the stadium no more. All this Ohio State, y'all mad because people planted flags, but then we won't even draft the guys, the top receivers coming out of Ohio State to even play here.
Right.
What kind of sense does that make? And then it comes back to haunt us. He's out in New York balling, and nobody neither one of our supposed star DBs could handle him. Not near one of them. So I don't understand. The boy out there going crazy on us. And then the rookie running back had a decent day as well.
Yeah. It was a rough game for the Browns.
Garrett Wilson, 8 catches for 102 yards. 2 touchdowns.
That shouldn't happen. A lot of that happening in the fourth quarter on that last drive.
But you have a veteran quarterback. What I was getting to about Flacco is you have the veteran quarterback presence. He knew how to handle the blitz whenever the blitz would occasionally come. He was beating the blitz. And people seem to forget Joe Flacco used to whoop our ass year in and year out as a Baltimore Raven.
He's 18-3 against the Browns.
Against the Browns.
He's 18-3 against the Browns.
When you put that formula together, if you really would have thought about it, because to be honest, you talking about we don't expect to go undefeated. You know what they did expect us to do? Beat the Jets. That's one thing they did expect us to do. We were favored in that game. We should have won the game. The reason we didn't win is because of the coach.
The Browns weren't the only team to blow a game yesterday, and nobody wins every game they're favored to win. I'm not saying it's not a bad loss. It is. It's indefensible. You can't lose a game where you have a 2-possession lead with less than 2 minutes yet left. But that doesn't mean we throw away the rest of the season. That doesn't mean that we don't have faith. That doesn't mean that we don't have faith. And honestly, I don't believe that a midseason firing is going to do anything positive for this team. Maybe an off-season firing will help, but right now, I mean, you can't switch it up right now, especially going into Thursday night football. You can't switch it up.
You can't switch it up. I'm not for let's fire people right away, but
they just got to figure it out.
No, ain't no figuring nothing out. This is a Pro Bowl corner over here who's jumping other people's routes, leaving people wide open.
Yo, they're saying it's on the safety. They're saying it's on.
I'm not talking about that one particular play. What about the play when the running back was just wide open in the flat, walked in for a touchdown? 3 Browns over there, and nobody decided to cover him.
Look, they obviously weren't in the right position. I'm not going to sit up here and say that the coaches have been doing a good job because they haven't been. But I don't think that.
But that game time management, when we have a lead, he sucks at it. And you know why? Because he won't use the running game to the full potential of the running game.
They literally didn't have to call any more plays after he got the first down. If he goes down, you could sit on it. Even before that play, we could have just started kneeling on the ball, because even if they get the ball back at their 3-yard line with 40 seconds left, they're down 13 or they're down 7.
Right.
We probably still win that game.
No,
or take the field goal. You know what I'm saying? Just take the field goal, milk the clock, and then give them the ball back.
Right, yeah. Get a field goal.
It was all bad. It was all bad.
Just like, listen, Nick Chubb had 17 carries. Kareem had 13. So combined with that's 30 carries for our rushing attack. In my opinion, that is the strong point of our offense when you don't have a strong quarterback, which is the point I was trying to make last season.
Actually got strong quarterback play out of that game. That's the best quarterback play we've seen in years on this team. Now say what you want. The boy came out on fire. You can't blame him for that game.
I can blame him.
Don't put this on Jacoby Brissett.
You know, since you brought it up, if this same game had happened last year, you know how you would have led this?
Let's
would have
move
led
on
with
from
Baker Mayfield throwing that interception at the end of the game.
Quite possible.
You would have focused completely on that. You didn't even mention that Jacoby Brissett, with an opportunity to still pull the game out, because we have a kicker that can kick it from 70 yards. Get us in field goal range. Okay, we didn't messed up and slipped up and got down. You still got time on the clock. Go out there and get us in field goal range and see if Cody York can make amends for his mistake of missing that extra point.
Yeah.
Hey, but you didn't bring that up.
Because Jacoby Brissett's not a number 1 overall.
It doesn't matter who he is.
No. Let me respond.
Nah, man.
Because
Stop
Jacoby
with the low
Brissett,
expectations.
Let me respond.
I don't care who's playing.
Can I respond? So you brought up Baker Mayfield. You did. Rewind the tape and look at it. You brought up Baker Mayfield, as I knew you would, week 2 and week 3 and week 4 for the rest of the season. I understand that, and I'm prepared. But Jacoby Brissett is not a number 1 overall pick who played here for 4 years. It's a simple reality that you Baker bros need to understand. I'm not going to come out here and flame Jacoby, because what did I tell you last week about Brissett? What did I tell you? I don't have high expectations for what he does. Anything good that he gives you is a positive. That's net positive from that position, because he is a placeholder and a career backup who doesn't have high expectations. My expectations are going to be a lot higher for a quarterback who you put your franchise on. We didn't put our franchise on Brissett. Am I disappointed that he threw a pick to end the game? Sure, but he shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. And I don't have consistent evidence of him sucking in the fourth quarter like I did on your boy that you constantly bring up. So if you want to keep bringing up Baker, that's cool. He not here no more, though. And by the way, he's 0-2. And if you want to look at their overall numbers, Brissett's ranked higher as a quarterback in this season right now. The career backup has a higher ranking than your boy Baker Reagan Mayfield, or Regan, whatever he wants to call himself when he's mad at Browns fans. He's a clown, man. Stop bringing him up. He's not here. He's a clown.
And what I'll say, and what I've always been saying to the people who detest Baker Mayfield, one, I'm not a Baker bro.
That's a
two,
on that.
There's no such thing as a Baker bro. That's some old high school silly crap that goofy Browns fans say. Now,
hey, two, search hashtag Baker bro right now. You went on your soliloquy. You went on your.
No, I get it that they made up the word, but it's childish. Right. So, and at the end of because my argument is that the coaching should coach according to what they have on the field. If Baker Mayfield isn't able to perform, then you should change your offensive philosophy. That's not saying he's the greatest quarterback. That's saying a coach shouldn't be trying to pass as much as he would with a healthy quarterback as he would with a quarterback that is injured.
I told you why they did that last year. That was my whole argument last year.
No,
but I told you why they did that. They did that so he would show what his true colors are so they can move on from him. I wholeheartedly believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that.
But my thing is You can't
because
really
coach
judge,
doesn't want to be fired.
You can't
over
really
Baker.
judge true colors when a person is playing with a significant injury. You have to
He's
judge
on
them
a
when they
different
play
team,
healthy.
and his
No, I get it.
numbers
I
are
don't
the
care.
same.
No, well,
But his
listen,
numbers are the same.
we'll see how it works out. He's
That
in a
man
different
threw
system.
for
He's in
50%
a different
last week.
system. He's got to
Nah.
learn a new system and get
Baker,
used
bro.
to playing over there.
All right, can we
By
talk about the
third
Browns?
year, but listen, we are talking about the Browns. But my argument is never Baker's the greatest quarterback. If you want to heap ass load of expectations on him just because John Dorsey decided to take him number one, that's on you.
I do. I
don't care. I don't care about the fact that
you want to know what Joe Burrow did? You want to know what Joe Burrow did as a number one overall quarterback taken in a draft? You want to know what he did for his team? Come on, man. You talk about making excuses.
He never beat the Browns. Man. That's what he did.
Come on,
so
man.
move on.
But he went to the Super Bowl.
That's what he did.
I think he's cool with going to the Super Bowl and not beating the Browns.
Go to the Super Bowl is not my. Well, he better not be, because look at what's happening to him now, though.
Yeah, he's struggling, but
Stop
guess what?
Acting like
he
the
went
man
to the Super Bowl.
So his career's over. Put a gold jacket on him.
No, but his career is by far.
Put a gold jacket on him. He went to the Super Bowl and lost.
His career is better than head and shoulders higher than Baker Mayfield's will ever be.
We'll see how it all ends up.
Nah,
it's not about Baker though.
Yeah.
It's about the Browns and how they run the team.
Yeah,
they have been making bad decisions after bad decisions after bad decisions.
So this has been a consistent theme from you about Stefanski. Do you think he should be
fired?
No, I'm asking.
Do you remember when Brian Hoyer was a career backup?
Do you think
you didn't want to root for the career backup when it was Brian Hoyer and we were winning? But now all of a sudden, let's root for the career backup. Stop with the contradicting of arguments. You didn't support the. Listen,
I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Okay, I have no idea.
I'm taking you back.
What are you talking about?
So
don't root for Brissett. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying
I shouldn't root for Brissett right now.
You're contradicting your arguments.
How?
When we had a career backup playing for us that was winning, you wanted him out of here because he was a career backup.
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
Brian
Hoyer
remember
what I ate for dinner last night. I don't remember Brian Hoyer in the Cleveland Browns uniform 10 years ago. And if I did want him out, which is
talking for a second so I can remind you, you wanted Johnny Manziel over Brian Hoyer.
Okay. And as soon as Johnny sucked, I wanted him gone. So what's your point? As soon as they suck, I want them gone.
Give no one a chance to play here.
So let's let Baker
a quarterback that just went to the playoffs
10 years instead of 4.
Can go further in the playoffs. Yes, let's do that. Let's let a quarterback that got to the playoffs see if we can get to the playoffs again and go again. It's not about how great he is. It's about how successful my team was being when he was playing healthy. That's it. I don't care. I don't care if he's going to be as good as Patrick Mahomes. I don't give a damn about what other teams have. We had a playoff team. We almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Had it not been for a fumble through the end zone, we probably would have won that game. But I guarantee you, y'all blame that on Baker too.
The dude that fumbled in the end zone. That was your boy too. Listen,
when they
don't perform well, when they don't perform up to expectations over a long period of time, you're right. I want them gone. I don't understand why you don't understand that.
It's not even for long periods of time. It's not even for long periods of time.
It was 4 years.
It wasn't 4 years. He played an injury. He can't even count. You really can't count last year because he played with the injury.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, because he played the game.
The coach should have. And my argument is the coach should have sat him.
Okay,
that's my argument.
So let me get back to my question so we can move on from running on this hamster wheel that we run on every single time we do a show.
It's not about praising Baker. It's about making the right coaching decision. If they really wanted to win, they wouldn't have been worried about trying to sabotage a freaking quarterback.
All right, so let me ask you a question. All right, we have to move on from this. We've been talking about this the whole time we've been doing the show. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Coach Stefanski should be fired?
Here's what I think
because
should first happen.
For now, this is his 4th year, right? Is this coach's 4th? Yeah, but hold on. Is this coach's 4th year or 3rd year? It's his 4th year, right?
No.
3rd. I think it's his 3rd year. So he had a good year, and he had a year where they definitely fell far short of expectations. Right now, this is year 3.
An injured quarterback
We're 1-on-1. I'm just asking a question, bro. I'm just asking a question. Do you think Coach Stefanski, and then I got another question too. Do you think Coach Stefanski should be fired? Yes or no, and why or why not?
No, I don't think he should be fired.
He gets a lot of your criticism. That's why I'm asking.
Right, because I think he doesn't understand situational football. We could win a lot of these games if he just called them different in the second half. And it didn't matter whether it was Baker or Brissett or whoever. You have to call the game correctly in order to finish the game off. When you have a lead, he doesn't understand how to coach with the lead. We have a stable of thorough running backs. They don't even, Dearness Johnson doesn't even see the field. That's a talent that's not being used. Jerome Ford is a talent.
I mean, he shouldn't see the field over Chubb and Hunt.
It's not about over.
Let's just be honest. It
Did
is.
I say over?
Because those are the guys.
No.
Well, those are the guys who are getting the carry.
To get talent on the field. They lined Chubb. They lined Kareem Hunt out at wide receiver. I don't care where you got to put them at on the line. Get them all on the field to get them all involved because they're all talented. Most coaches would understand that. Did you see the one run that Ford had when he ran the kickoff back? He's a talented running back.
And, yeah, but did you see him when they actually handed him the ball on the field, though, on offense? He didn't do much.
Felton. That was Felton, sir.
I thought that's who you were talking about. Who you were talking about?
I'm talking about Ford, the one we just drafted. See, you're not even paying attention.
Oh yeah.
Number 34 is an above average.
I got another question for you. Do you think
let me finish on the Stefanski real quick. Because here's what I think first has to happen before we even consider going down that road again, firing a coach.
Which is not a good road to go down.
Stefanski desperately needs to give up the play calling. That's his problem.
Don't you think in year 3, if he hasn't done that, we shouldn't expect it? Like, I don't disagree with that. I just don't see the point in clamoring for it because I don't expect it to change. Like, I expect for him while he's been here, this is how he's coached.
Accept
so I expect it to stay the same.
You accept mediocrity. This is terrible play calling.
No, I'm not saying that I'm accepting
you're
mediocrity. What I think, my opinion on what happened. All right, my opinion on what happened in the Jets game is a little bit different than you. I'm not putting it all on the coaches. I'm putting it on the players because I've heard Coach Stefanski in his press conference yesterday say that everybody knew on the sideline what the Jets were going to do on that final drive. They talked about it with the coaches and the players. They talked about what the game plan was. It was never a part of the game plan to leave a streaking wide receiver wide open. To me, that's on the players. And the player that is supposed to be in that position, from what I've been able to gather from that game, was the safety Grant Delpit. Now, I'm not going to put that on Joe Woods if Joe Woods told him to be there. Now, I will hold Joe Woods accountable for obviously his messaging isn't getting across appropriately. So that's coaching, and that's a coaching flaw that I'll put on him. But I'm not going to say he's a bad coach just because his player didn't listen to him. If his player didn't listen to him, more responsibility needs to be on the player. The coach can call the perfect play. If the players don't execute it, I'm not blaming the coach. I'm blaming the player. So I'm blaming Delpit for blowing that coverage. I'm blaming Amari Cooper for that was the laziest attempt at recovering an onside kick I've ever seen a player make. You get faked out on an onside kick, which is mind-blowing to me. But second, Amari Cooper didn't even try to get the ball. He falls on the ball. He kicks the ball out of bounds even. It's Browns football, or they got to re-kick it. I don't know what the rule is. But his half-hearted attempt there gets more blame for that collapse than me blaming Joe Woods just because his guy was out of position. I don't believe that Joe Woods coached his guy to be out of position. I believe he coached them to be in position, and they blew it. And if you've been listening to the sports talk here over these last couple of days, there's been a lot of finger pointing from the secondary. Denzel Ward talking about it wasn't his fault, but he'll accept responsibility. The players got to do the right thing that the coach calls is my overarching point right there. Let me ask you one more question about the general manager who moved on from Baker Mayfield. Do you think he's done a good job since he's had the job?
I think we have a very talented team. And I think
so. Yes or no?
I think the talent is being misused.
Okay, but that was my point about asking. That
I wasn't even focusing on when I was talking about coaching. I wasn't even just focusing on.
Well, I'm more talking about moving on from Baker. This is my point about asking about the GM is that he's done an overall good job. He made the decision to make a personnel decision and move on from Baker. And I'm going to trust him on that because he's done a pretty good job since he's been here. So that's my only point about asking you about the GM. It was a trap question. I was trying to set you up.
And I didn't fall for it. So
well, you kind of did.
Not really, because I'm talking about coaching, which is the ongoing issue if you want to stay with the present, because we've been witnessing this for a minute now of him not being able to coach situational football. The situation dictated yesterday with a lead that you run the clock out before you try and attempt to score. So by him not even calling that, he put us in all the other positions for you to have to complain about Amari Cooper, have to complain about the blown coverage and all of that. It started from him not understanding how to play with a lead in situational football. And that's been the issue to me the whole time. I don't think he knows how to call the right play at the right time. You see how much we kind of stall when we get in the red zone a little bit when he tries to go to the passing game. But when we run the ball, it's never an issue. But for some reason, he likes to get away from the run in situations where it's obvious you should stick with the run. And I just think when you have this many players on the team that can tote the rock, you gotta mix it up. And it keeps people's legs fresh for later in the game. Of course, you're gonna ride Chubb mostly. Of course, you're gonna be utilizing Kareem Hunt. But if you got a guy like Ford who can run, I'm just telling you, I don't want to ever have to see it happen, but I guarantee you, this guy could step in and run the ball almost just as effective. I guarantee you he's that type of a talent. Just from watching him run in the preseason and watching him when he had a chance to return the kickoff, he's a talented running back. You use the talent. You out there handing the ball off to Felton, who's obviously not good. Why wouldn't that play be called for Ford? That's all I'm saying. Utilize the talent. If you're going to bring Felton in the game and call his number at all, you got a better guy on the bench that you could have put in that position to try and make that same play. And that's all I'm saying.
I hear you. I hear you, and maybe you're right. I don't know. I'm not there
because y'all don't really look deep into it like that. You see quarterback, you see receiver, you see all y'all see is that y'all are real top heavy when you watch football. You don't get down into the roster and how utilizing players differently would help the team even more dramatically.
What I was going to say was that
we looked the most dominant we ever looked when we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs, and that's because Kevin Stefanski
and our defense forced 5 turnovers.
Listen,
we forced 5 turnovers. My only
Kevin Stefanski was not coaching that day.
Okay, so maybe we should fire Kevin Stefanski. I guess
no,
is
he
what
should
your point
give up the play calling.
Okay, I hear you on that, bro.
Focus on managing the game and give up the play calling.
I hear you on that. The only pushback that I'll give you on who plays when and things of that nature, look, that man makes millions of dollars. He's been around those guys all day, every day for months. I haven't. So I'm going to trust his word and I'm going to trust his judgment on who to play in what situation. Obviously, the final score dictates whether he was right or wrong. Nobody's arguing that. But I'm not going to sit up here and tell him that he should have ran to the left when he ran to the right. I'm not going to get into that. All I know is that yesterday or Sunday's game was an anomaly. It was the first time hold on. It was the first time that it's happened to the Browns in a long time. It was the first time that it happened in the NFL in a long time. You don't see teams score 2 touchdowns with less than 2 minutes left.
Guess who it happened to the last time it happened?
The Browns. I know that. Yeah, but how many years ago was that? My point is there have been a lot of football games played in between those games. And that what happened on Sunday, and what happened in those other come from behind victories, the Dolphins scoring 28 in the fourth quarter, and Kyler Murray fighting back and leading his team back from down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. Those things are anomalies. I'm not going. If that shit happens 3, 4, 5 more times this season, I'll be like, Haz, you was right. Fire Stefanski. Let's move on. I don't believe it's Stefanski. No. Okay, whatever. I'm not to that point yet after a week 2 loss. I'm not to that point
I
yet
just
when
simply said
we're
he
still
needs to-
tied in record-wise with everybody in our division except for the Bengals. I'm just not to that point where I'm jumping off a cliff. I'm not there. So
Neither am I.
I think that these things can be corrected.
Did I say jump off a cliff?
No, I think that these things can be corrected. I think that what happened on Sunday, you won't see that again for the rest of the season. You might not see that again for another 10 years. So I'm not worried.
Bro, we just saw it 2 weeks in a row.
No, we didn't, because the first game we won. I'm not worried. I think that we're going to beat Mitchell Trubisky once we go to 2-1 with a division win, and we're at least tied for first place heading into week 4. Nobody's going to care about this game.
We were very fortunate to get that win. Very fortunate to get that win.
The Panthers are 0-2.
It's fine.
So nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I'm talking about the Browns.
Yeah,
we didn't win that game convincingly. We were lucky to win that game. Yes, we are. But don't sit there and act like the defense hasn't had breakdowns for 2 weeks in a row.
The defense has been
terrible. 30 freaking points. So that's all I'm saying. That's the problem.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that I'm not about to get my blood pressure up after 2 weeks of football. We got 15 more games to go.
I just hate that y'all being childish about making it about past players all the time. And the Carolina Panthers. Shut up.
What are you talking about
watching
you brought up Baker Mayfield. Nobody's
a fan of the Panthers. Nobody's a fan of people who don't play for the Browns. We want the Browns to win. But I want the coach to get his goddamn act together.
I feel you. I'm not going to have a heart attack over 2 weeks, though. I'm not. It's not even enough time to know what we got, what we working with.
That got hurt when I knew he could get us to the playoffs, but y'all had a heart attack then.
You just said stop bringing up the past.
No,
and there
I'm just telling you,
being a Baker bro again.
Weird. It's weird that y'all want to flip and have patience now.
Oh man,
yeah. Now you want to have patience.
I'm not going to keep explaining that to you. If you don't get the difference between a number 1 overall pick and a career backup, then that's on you. That's on you. If you don't want to understand the difference between a dude who was taking 1 overall and went 30 and 30 for a franchise and a backup quarterback that he lost to, then that's on you. That's on you, my friend.
Most of the quarterbacks
he lost to a career backup, and you still being a Baker bro.
Dude, listen.
Nah, I'm not listening to that.
Most of the quarterbacks that have gold jackets weren't drafted number 1 overall, sir. Right. You might have 1, 2 of them. But most of the Hall of Fame quarterbacks came from deep in the draft.
You know what happens when you go number 1 overall?
Like you got a number 1 quarterback, that means it's it.
You know what happens to that second contract when you go number 1 overall?
Than you, young man. You don't know what you're talking about.
Let me ask you a question. You know what happens since you know so much more than me.
What happens so much about him being picked number 1 versus being picked in the 7th round? No.
What
you
happens
don't know
to that?
much about football then. If that's the only measure of a quarterback.
Right. What happens to that?
Don't matter.
Jesus Christ. What happens to that contract, that second contract of a number 1 overall quarterback? You should.
It's not my
That's why his ass ain't here.
Their money ain't my business.
That's why his ass is in Carolina.
I'm a fan that wants to see the results of the game.
Right. That's why your boy is in Carolina. That's why your boy is in Carolina.
If I'm a businessman, I don't have to pay nobody I don't want to pay. Hey. Y'all act like we was gonna be, we have to give him $40 million. I don't even know where y'all came from.
This dude love him some Baker Mayfield.
It ain't about loving Baker. It's about dumb decisions the Browns make because y'all are impatient. Y'all are impatient. Look at where we at now. We done lost to the Jets.
Let's give a quick preview.
We done lost to the Jets.
I'm not about to keep getting
yelled at by you. Our ass again.
Look, what you got on the preview? What you got on the preview side for Thursday's game? Thursday night football. In Cleveland, the land tailgate. My sister's coming in from California. I'm gonna hang out with her and my brother on Friday night.
Trubisky get busy on us. Don't let
What's
Mitchell
your preview,
get busy on us.
What's your preview for Thursday?
I feel like the Browns should win this game, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are talented everywhere except the quarterback position. They have good receivers.
They are missing their best defensive lineman, but go ahead.
And that's one thing that's going to help us. That's one thing that's going to help us is that we ain't got to worry about TJ Watt. So the Browns should have the advantage. But after watching this defense for the first couple of weeks, I have no idea what to expect because, hey, we should, but we don't. And that's what we do. That's why I'm wearing the black Browns gear today. So,
I'm guaranteeing it's going to be a victory Friday.
Guarantee it.
No, it's going to be a victory Friday in the land. We're not losing this game to the Steelers. The Steelers are not very good. They were lucky to beat the Patriots, and the Patriots aren't very good either. So I got the Browns winning on Thursday. It ain't going to be easy, and it ain't going to be a blowout because that's not things
They were
that we're
just about as
capable of
lucky
doing
as we
right
were
now.
to get a victory. Oh, that was about as lucky as we were in week 1.
Yeah, and we're going to be 2-1 after Thursday night's football game, and we'll be
should be
going into
3-0.
week 4, and Haz will bring up Baker Mayfield at least one time on the next show as well. That's another guarantee. That's my other guarantee for this week of Matt and Matt Sports, man. Remember, we're gonna be
Matty Willz, ladies and
schedule.
gentlemen,
We're gonna
comedian
be putting out a
extraordinaire.
schedule of when exactly
Take us to the improv.
because you know Haz he's so popular.
Come on, another
man.
joke.
This dude got. Well, I was gonna commend you on having all these gigs. You down in Atlanta now, man. Now you booked and busy. We can't even get a damn episode in. That's all I was gonna say.
Damn lie. The reason we don't do episodes is because of, how do I point this? It's weird. This guy right here,
man. NFL Plus, man. Get NFL Plus. It's $5 a month or something. They show every
NFL
game.
Plus. I have NFL Plus every game. I have NFL. No, they don't. They only show you the local joints.
Nah, I don't think that's true. I think it's new.
Definitely true. You get to listen to the other games, but you don't get to see them.
Are you sure they just did some new stuff this week? I mean, this season.
I have NFL Plus for free for being a season ticket holder.
Oh, games. Hold on, I'm doing a quick Google, man.
You don't get them, yo.
Watch live, local, and prime. Oh, live, local, and prime time. Yeah, that's trash. I'm not paying extra. So, I'm not paying extra for that. You can watch primetime games for free.
You think they gonna give you all the games when what's the name?
Hey, the NBA does it. NBA does it.
But NBA doesn't have like a NFL Sunday ticket type of situation. They don't have one. They got an NBA League Pass or something.
Yeah. You get every game. Except the local games.
But what there's some limitations there. What I'm saying is there's an NFL Sunday ticket that has the NFL owns their games, so they're not about to just let. I mean, you know,
so you can't even watch every game on the NFL Sunday ticket.
No, you can watch. That's where you have to. That's what you have to have.
That's DirecTV.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I cut the cord years ago, man. YouTube TV over here.
I got YouTube TV too, but I'm not in Cleveland, so I won't get the game. So I got to go to a local bar. There's a Browns backer bars here. We got a chance to. Where I'm at is all Browns though, but it's not close to my house. So that's that part. So good thing they playing prime time. Now it's on Amazon Prime. Now I gotta figure that part out.
But if you have Amazon, if you have an Amazon account, most people don't know you can watch the games. Like if you have an Amazon account, I'm pretty sure you can just log into Amazon Prime because there's 2 different Amazon.
Oh, we have Amazon. We good. We got Amazon.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be at work. So
all right. Well, we'll go live. So we are going live Thursday night, though, right? When the game is over.
When the game
is that what can you do that?
I'll be prepared to do it.
So as soon as the Browns game is good, as soon as the Browns game is over Thursday, so we'll probably be live about 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night. Great. I'm wake my family up real quick
and see if I can get in there with this one. Nah, because I ain't gonna be able to talk through the microphone if I do that. But anyway, how does it sound when I'm not on the microphone? Good.
Not as good as when we're mic'd up. Not nearly as good. All right, so we'll be back Thursday night. Strange midday episode today.
Oh, and because we got a short week, I gotta hurry up and get a damn song done, don't I?
Yeah. Good luck with that one.
I couldn't. You're right. I am busy. It was Sunday. I had to immediately DJ down here from 5 to 9, a little Sunday set while the football games was on. That was live. A lot of people from different teams, of course. But so of course when I get home that night, I couldn't. I wasn't able to get to it. You know what I'm saying? I had to spend time with my wife.
No, it is what it is, man. We got families. We got stuff to do. Gotta do what we gotta do.
You know what I'm saying.
Man, look.
My wife needed her time.
Okay, brother. I'm sure she's appreciative that you're putting that all out there on the internet. I'll be nice and sauced for Thursday night football. I can't watch a Browns game without drinking, so I'm sure the Thursday night show will be spectacular.
And then this whole me being the posted on the executive producer of the Posted on the Corner show now, and They're in Detroit, and I got to produce out the whole shows all week. Also doing the television segments that day, among other things. I'm going to get this Brown song done. We're going to get at least 1 day, 1.5 days of burn with it. It's got to come out tomorrow. It's got to.
Damn, SP is going to be mad at me because I didn't have our logos up. All right, man. Our call letters are on there. So, yo, let's get back to work because it's the middle of the day. I got work to do.
I'm not at work yet.
Thursday night for a recap of Thursday night football. Hopefully, actually, ain't no hopefully. I've already guaranteed the Browns dub, so we'll be
Browns dub. Hey, I like that.
After the Browns win Thursday night.
I mean,
it's going down. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I
didn't want Brissett to throw an interception to end the game. I didn't want him to do that. Yeah, I'm rooting for him.
Get all you get back for defending Baker these last 4 years, man.
That didn't have nothing to do with Baker. I didn't want Brissett to throw an interception when we had a chance to get a game-winning field goal. I didn't want him to do that.
Do you blame Chubb for not taking a knee on the one?
Nope. Because I blame the coach for not running the clock down. Because we should have never gave them time. They should have never gave money.
Bad loss. That's ugly loss, bad loss, disappointing loss. There's no way around that.
It was so many ways to win that game, even after the blunder. It didn't matter. I wanted Chubb to go in there. He's on my fantasy team. Get in there. Don't take no knee. Score.
Right. That's why. Now we get to the bottom of it. All right, man. I'm out.
It's your team, by the way.
He's not playing. We'll see y'all Thursday night, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us.
All right. Well, for Matt and Matt Sports, I'm HazMatt.
And I'm Matty Willz. Go Browns.
We gone. Peace.